So we're doing standard deviation. The formula's over here on the right, and we'll just walk through it. So we've got the x value minus the mean. The mean is the one with the line over the top. And we add them all up, divide by the number of terms, minus 1, n minus 1, the square root of the answer. So that is the formula we're looking to use here. So these are the data values here, 4, 6, 12, 10, 15. So first of all, we're going to add them up and then find the mean. So we know the mean is add them all up, which is 25, 37, 43, 47, I think it is, and divide by the number of numbers, 5. So therefore we get the answer 9.8 is our mean. And what we're going to do, the first column, we're going to do x minus the mean. So it's going to be 4 minus 9.8, which equals negative 5.8. Then we do 6 minus 9.8, negative 3.8. Then we do 12 minus 9.8, which is 2.2. And then 10 minus 9.8, which equals 0.2. And then 15 minus 9.8, which equals 5.2. So you can imagine with a lot of data, this is a lot of work. So now what we do, for the next column, we have to square each answer. So negative 5.8 squared, and that equals 33.64. And the next one, 3.8 squared, we get 14.44. 2.2 squared is 4.84. And what you'll find is all these negatives now become positives because we're squaring them. 0.2 squared is 0.04. And the last one, 5.2, is 27.04 squared. So the next thing we need to do is add all of these up. And that answer is 80. So the whole thing adds up to a nice number, which is very rare. It doesn't usually add up to a nice number, but it's equal to 80. Next thing we take, so standard deviation now, is going to be the square root of 80 is the top of our fraction, and then we've got to divide by n minus 1. Well, we know there's 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and divide that by n minus 1 is 4. So now we've got the square root of 20, and that will give us our answer, and that 4.472. And that means, in comparison to the mean was 9.8. If we go 9.8 plus 4.72 and 9.8 minus 4.72, then both of those answers, we know that 68.2% of the data will lie between those two numbers there. And the top one is 14.52. And the bottom one is 5.08. So between those two numbers, we know that the 68% of the data lies there. I'm going to try and do this question now on the computer, which is something you'll have to do. So the first thing we're going to do is find the sum here of this value of numbers here, 152, 158. Now we do always press an equal sign. We want to put a formula in. It says sum, and if I open bracket, see that sum there, and open bracket, now I just scroll these numbers I want there, and I close bracket, and that should give me an answer. And therefore the mean down this cell here, again press equals, will equal this number here, and we're going to press divide button, and how many numbers we got? We got 7, so we're going to divide by 7, and there's your mean there. Okay, now standard deviation means we take the x value here, so again we press equals, press that cell there, C6, and we're going to subtract the mean here. Now the problem is when we start doing this, we don't want the mean to be flopping all around the place and not included each time. So we need to put a dollar sign in front of it, like that, and a dollar sign after it. You see that? So the cell has C6 minus dollar C14. So it's basically taking this value here, subtracting the mean, and then we press enter, and we get a negative number. And we go across here, and all we want to do is this cell, so we need to press equals, this cell to the power button is that button there, and we want it to do to the power 2, so squared. And then we've got that value there. And now we want to fill down, so rather than doing the calculation each time, it does it for us, you see. If we just click and drag, and then we go up here to edit and come down to fill. And we want to fill down. Alright, we want to make sure we fill down all the data. And there we go, all the data's filled in. So, in this right hand column here, this is the one we want to sum. So we want to sum everything in there. We press equals again. Press SUM, open bracket. And now we can drag all the values we want to sum there. Close bracket. And we get this value of 71.428. And remember the formula, we've got to actually divide by n minus 1 first. So the standard deviation here, press equals. And we want to take this value here and divide by, how many values have we got? We've got 7, so we want to divide it by 6. Now we want to take the square root. So we're actually going to go back and put brackets around this bit here, otherwise it'll just take the square root of 6. And we don't want that, we want to take the square root of the whole thing. And again, the power button is our little hat button, and we can do 0.5 as our square root button. Okay, and therefore the standard deviation will work out. Now we press enter, 3.45, and just to check, you can now see this button here, standard deviation, STDEV, just click that one, and let's just take the standard deviation of all these numbers over here, close bracket, and we should end up with the same value, and we have. That's how you know you've got it right. So there is finding a standard deviation using your Excel sheet.